Yo, it's good. It's Skano. It's previously speaking on pride, ego. Let's not forget vanity. As it relates to get back. And let's be real, a lot of times, well, from my experience, a lot of times get back is based on pride, vanity. As I'm looking back, situations that I very well could have just moved on from and things would have worked themselves out, as they often tend to do. But no, my pride, my ego, my vanity, I need to deal with that situation. So, Carnell Tate, native Chicagoan, sophomore wide receiver for Ohio State. His mother was killed in a drive-by about a year ago. He's a sophomore. He was a freshman at the time. Still just getting his self acclimated to college life. Woo woo. All that goes without saying. And this happens. Now, apparently, his mother was killed in a drive-by. I'm not going to delve into Carnell Tate being from Chicago. Very well, understands the politics involved in, you know what I'm saying, Chicago life, urban Chicago life. Her affiliations, if she has any, that's not what this is about. She very well could have been in the wrong place at the wrong time around the wrong people, as a lot of times at the end of the day, that's what tends to be the case. But it's more so his response to that situation that I want to talk about. Now, if there's ever any cause to crash out, that would be it, right? All these situations where we speak about get back, you know, revenge, but do remain hyper focused on his mission, you know, and that goes without saying how difficult that has to be, because just because you're a college student, you know, that don't mean that you don't have intrusive thoughts. Just because you are a blue collar worker or whatever walk of life you know, everybody has intrusive thoughts. When something happened to somebody you care about, I don't care who you are. You have to be very anchored in in Christ in order not to have those intrusive thoughts. So I'm sure it crossed his mind. And being from Chicago, I'm sure dude has connections. I'm not gonna say he's affiliated or nothing like that, but he wouldn't have to be. If you know, you know. He could have found out with that situation, and he probably does know, you know. But like I said, man, if he wanted to go that route, yeah, you know, and who would fault him, right? Because that's what we commend. We commend shit like that. But I must also commend this dude's resolution, you know, his mental, his mental strength. Because he stayed hyper focused on the mission. And I said, man, purpose. A lot of niggas in the streets really don't have no purpose. And I was saying, I've run across many niggas that was bright enough to do mostly anything they wanted to do, man. They could have been successful at it. They chose the streets. But most of these niggas out here have no purpose. They have no direction. And that's why they fully embrace it. Because, like I said, man, nigga with no purpose is the most dangerous type of nigga out here. But he stayed on point, man. And he didn't allow his ego, his pride, and I'm not going to stand here and pretend like I know what's going on inside his mind and his, but I don't necessarily. It don't take much to be able to put yourself in them shoes, you know. And like I said, coming from a culture like Chicago and still having some, it wouldn't have been nothing for dude to crash out on that. But something I had to learn, man. And I come up here like I'm some know-it-all, but experience is a hell of a teacher. And sometimes at the end of the day, the best get back is just getting on. You know, leaving a situation where it's at, and them things tend to work themselves out. Cause, you know, crash dummies gonna crash out. You don't have to necessarily crash out along with them. But it be that pride, man. That happened to my people. That happened to somebody I care about. I need to handle that, you know, in order to be able to look myself in this pride and this ego and this vanity. But, you know, like I said, man, some situations it's nearly impossible to just walk away from, and I'm not going to stand here and pretend, you know. But as I said, man, I must commend dude. He's probably, you know, looking at an NFL future, and he stayed on course. And I think a huge issue in our community is the lack of conflict resolution. You know, 0 to 100, we flash out, and it's violence. You know what I'm saying? And but I think if more people had purpose, they'd be less likely to crash out. You know, but at the end of the day, like I said, um, sometimes the best get back is just getting on, and you know, let the crash dummies bump heads, and they will, you know, things tend to handle themselves. 216 Scano, you already know.